Wow. Folks, I got very good news tonight. No more commercials. That may be the loudest applause of the night, I realize that. Listen, I want to thank everybody here tonight. This is your night, not mine. This has been a team effort from the very beginning. But I also want to say this. I know we all come from different faiths. But I want to thank my loving God for bringing us here tonight as a team together. This has been a remarkable journey. Not just for me, not just for the candidate, but for our entire Pinellas County community. For the first time in 43 years, as Billy said, we have held a congressional election with new candidates. It's bittersweet for many of us. We knew we would be electing a new representative tonight. I am honored and I am humbled to have received the support of my community and to have the opportunity to serve as your next representative from Florida's 13th Congressional District. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank Lucas Overby and Alex Sink for standing as candidates in this race. This is not easy. We have laughed about so many of the commercials, but the truth is every candidate puts themselves out there in front of the voters to ask for their support. They do so at great sacrifice. Alex has done so at great sacrifice. Lucas has done so at great sacrifice. I had the opportunity to speak with Alex earlier this evening. She wished us well. We promised to work together. Folks, I'd like to congratulate Alex Sink and Lucas Overby as well tonight. And that is why tonight is not about claiming victory. Tonight is about committing to service. And that is what I intend to do. Yeah. Listen. That's the after party, Joey. Understand, I have never asked since November 7th to lead this community. I've only asked to represent this community. And that is what I intend to do. I have believed from the very beginning that this is a Pinellas County race. We have talked about it. For 5 months, that has been a guiding principle for me, that we make sure we have representation in Washington, D.C. to fight for Pinellas County. This race has always been personal to me, not political. I know it's been personal for so many of you as well. This race is not about defending a broken agenda in Washington or advancing a broken agenda in Washington. This race is about representing Pinellas County and serving the people right here in our own community. And so the first order of business for me is not to race to Washington, D.C. and open up an office in Washington. It's to go right down the street here and open up an office in Pinellas County, Florida. It is to continue a legacy of constituent service and community service that Bill Young led with and defined in this community. To work with our seniors, our veterans, our homeowners, our job creators, our entrepreneurs, to help them when they need help. That is what this job is about. This is a community service job. I pledged this to you. As your congressman, I will always be accessible. I will serve humbly, with honesty. I will seek every day to do what is right for this community and to help the people of this community. I am a member of Congress who knows that at times there is a safety net that only government can provide. We know that's true. We can fight for core constitutional principles that so many of us hold dear. But there is an aspect of community service to this job that we should expect and require of our members of Congress. Know this, my door is always open. Your concerns are my concerns, and I pledge every day to work with you and for you. I appreciate that. That said, elections, as we all know, have a way of dividing us. It shouldn't be so. Elections should be about bringing our community together. And that's what we have to embark on tomorrow. Let's dispense with the vitriol and the rancor of the past 5 months, and tomorrow be one Pinellas County that is working to do what is right in our county and in Washington, D.C. I am grateful for the tens of thousands of people that have supported our campaign. Many of you have been there from the beginning, many of you right here tonight. But I also know there are tens of thousands of people tonight who have asked to be represented by a different person, who have embraced a different view of government and a different view of representation. And that's okay. We are one community. We are called to work together. And so I pledge to you this. While this campaign has seemed at times to be partisan, your next congressman is not partisan. Your next congressman is here to represent people like my friend Bob Swick, who keeps saying yes to everything I say. That's not the only reason he's my friend. It's a remarkable day when you're a candidate and you are a Republican candidate and you have a Democrat Purple Heart recipient veteran step forward and say, I want to support you. That's Bob Swick. Folks, while I bring to this office certain core political convictions, and we've had an opportunity to talk about those convictions. We've had an opportunity to talk about the view of government that I believe in and believe is right for the future of our country. You all have had an opportunity to talk about it. Alex has had a right to talk about it as well. But the bottom line is I did not run for Congress to advance Washington. I ran for Congress to advance Pinellas County. We have had the opportunity to share these core convictions and these core values. And while I seek to work with everybody, and I pledge to you I will work with everybody, also know this: that does not mean resigning the convictions that we stand for that brought us here tonight. It does not mean resigning our fundamental belief in the Constitution and in individual liberty. I will always look to empower individuals and families before I will look to empower government. That is the only way to do it. The preamble to our Constitution discusses securing the blessings of liberty. Bob, you and I talked about that at Burger King about 7 years ago. Let me tell you this: we must never sacrifice our Creator's sacred gift of liberty to us at the altar of big government. And we are not going to let that happen. We must never sacrifice our constitutional principles and our constitutional rights to the whims of politics. We cannot let that happen, and we must never concede our freedom to those who dare to take it from us. That is why we have free and fair elections, to stand up for the liberty and the freedom that we believe in. Tonight, young men and women around the globe put on the uniform of the armed services. They do so to defend our liberty, to defend our freedom, to defend the opportunity for each of us here today in this community to have elections like we have had, to come together on a night like tonight. Folks, let's honor the sacrifice of those who continue to serve and those who have served. Many in this room, many in this room have worn that uniform. You have carried the flag. It is a responsibility of all of us to honor that service by bringing to this job a heart of service to everybody in this community. And we will do that together. Let us honor those who have served by representing what is good and right in the electoral process, what is good and right in politics, what is good and right in public service. That is the only way that we should approach this. The challenges we face as a country are difficult. The issues are hard. Where we can work together and build consensus and build common ground, we have to do that. We are required to do that. It is our duty to do that. And where we cannot find that consensus, we have a responsibility to still work together with civility. and to keep that dialogue decent. We owe that to our community. That is my commitment that I give to you tonight, and for as long as you allow me to serve as your member of Congress. Tonight brings an end to this election. Many of you are thinking thankfully, right? Come on, Dan. Tomorrow provides the opportunity to embark together on a new journey of representation here in Pinellas County. A journey that began for me as a young man, some of you may have heard me say, who graduated from college and had never been north of Tennessee. But I had a love in my heart for public service, for public policy. And I thought I was going to go to Washington and work with one of these new members that was elected in 1994. I was excited about it. I got to Washington not knowing anybody, but through a family relationship with a pastor down the road here, I had the opportunity to go to work for our late Congressman Bill Young, a man whose legacy fills this room tonight. As a young staffer, you know, we all have a lot of Bill Young memories. As a young staffer, I remember standing at an elevator with him just so proud and excited at my young age to be able to stand in his presence and have an opportunity to work with him. And a man that we all knew as such a gentleman and a decent soul said to me, in just making small talk, he said, "David, what you know good?" And I thought, well, I hadn't heard that before. I heard, you know, what do you know? What are you up to? But he said, what do you know good? That was the spirit of Bill Young, a kind and decent man. I would say this to Billy and to Pat and to Mr. Young tonight: we did good tonight. We did real good tonight. We all did good tonight. We did good tonight. Know from the bottom of my heart that I am grateful for the honor you have bestowed on me tonight. Not to replace Bill Young, but to follow Bill Young, and to allow me to serve as your next member of Congress, representing the greatest community I know, Pinellas County. Folks, thank you from the very bottom of my heart. Know every day how much I appreciate everything you have done. Know that I pledge to you a heart of service that will go unmatched in this county and in the United States Congress. I appreciate everything you've done. I said, let's win this for Pinellas County. Folks in this room tonight and out there watching on TV, we won this for Pinellas County tonight. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.